welcome back to Beauty Strategy. This is my out of bed hair. Anyway, I have been waiting to do this look for over a week now. I was sick, so I couldn't do it. I'm gonna do a Changeling inspired look. For those of you who don't know, it was a movie that came out with Angelina Jolie starring, and it was set in the late 1920s. I love vintage glamour, especially kind of the 50s, but I'm gonna throw it back to earlier in the 20s, 30s. I'm gonna get started with Jane Iredale's Smell the Roses Hydration Spray. I think that this is so much better than the Mario Badescu one. So I'm gonna start off with that. And then I'm going to prime my face using my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Back then, there wasn't a ton of shimmer. Things were very matte. So I want to make sure my face is nice and hydrated, and it really will truly glow from within, not using anything shimmery to impart that type of luminosity. For foundation, I'm going to use the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. This is an 04. It's a little bit light for me. And I'm going to be mixing that in with my Arcona wine oil. So you can use an oil to make this into like more of a liquid foundation, because it is a very thick cream. And I'm going to be doing my entire face with just this little bit right here. And mix that up on my palette like this. And then using my finger to put it all over my face, and then I'm going to use a brush to blend. Hi Joey, how are you? Do you want to come up and say hello to everybody? Okay, you can stay on my lap. Sit. I see a lot of people applying or holding the brush head. That's going to apply more pressure, so I like to hold it kind of toward the end and use less pressure. Mixing the light and darker color together. I'm going to brighten up some areas. I'm not going to do a full highlighting today, just because highlighting and contouring, you know, wasn't as popular as it was nowadays, and that was maybe that was more reserved for Hollywood actors at the time. Taking that fat brush and just using little pressure, just the top part of the brush, kind of blending that in, using my fingers to do the inner part of my eye. For cheeks, I'm going to be using a cream rouge that was very popular back then. I'm just going to be using my red Chanel lipstick to do that. Putting it directly and focusing on the apples of my cheeks. Again, that contour angular look wasn't really big back then. And I'm going to take a dual fiber brush and just kind of use circular motions. I'm going to go in one more time, just because I know that it's not going to show up once everything is on. But I still want it to be pretty subtle. I don't want it to be like a super flushed look. And then this time around, because there's extra color, I'm gonna take that and slightly take it into my cheek, my temple area, just a little bit. But mainly the color is concentrated on the apples of my cheeks. Back then, powder was put on with a powder puff, but I am going to be using a dense blending brush, focusing on the T-zone, over the eyelids. I'm going to go back into the foundation mix that I made, and going in using my Artiste Oval 3, going around the sides of my nose. Then going back in with that powder. In the 30s, it got a little bit thicker, so I'm going to still do kind of a rounded shape. I'm not going to make it as droopy. So see how I kind of extended it beyond the point and I went pretty long and downwards? And I'm going to keep it pretty thin. For eyes, I'm going to just take my finger and go all over the lid with a flesh tone color. And then lightly dust with the loose powder. Shall we jump? Hello. Okay. Sit. Okay, so charcoaly cool colors were really big back then. I'm gonna take a black eyeliner and line my lower lash line. And I'm not gonna make it super smudgy. I'm gonna make it a little bit stripy, if you will. I'm gonna smudge it just a tad, but only a little. It's like, and then I'm going to tight line underneath, just my lash line. I don't have full lashes. So for eyeliner, cake liner is what they use. So I'm going to be what women used back then. What you can do is add a little bit of water and then mix it so it becomes a paste. I always like to test out the consistency on my hand or palette before I apply, so I know that it's the right amount. This one is not super black, it's matte, it's a little bit gray in tone. Right there. I don't know why, but on the left side, I always like to go from the outside in. Just to add a little dimension, I'm going to take that same blending brush and go into a brown. Kind of go into my socket because I need a little bit more dimension because my eyes are flat. My eyelids are flat. For my lips, I'm going to be lining them in a kind of a dark brown and then putting kind of a wine-ish color on top. So I'm using Jane Iredale Nutmeg as a lip liner, and super full lips, like, you know, wasn't in back then, so I'm going to keep to my natural lip line. So I'm not going to fill in with this color, I just wanted to create the shape. And I'm going to take that red color and put it all over my lips. Not super thick, just kind of dabbing it on as if it's a stain. Like not super opaque. And using my finger, one more layer. Going back in with that lip liner for a little bit more precision. What I'm doing so that I don't have a super brown outline is I'm going inside the lip and dragging the lip color along with this color so it kind of works together. I'm gonna curl my lashes just a little bit because my lashes are straight. I just want a little bit of a curve. And then back then they also used cake mascara. For ease, I'm gonna just use regular mascara. Really concentrating on my lash line. I'm gonna do a little bit on the bottom because I have like barely any lashes there, so just to darken it up just a little bit. I think these are a little too glam, but it's okay. They still look pretty natural. Kind of on the long end for me. I'm gonna change and I'll be right back. Ta-da! Here's the finished look. I think this lip is a little bit too hot pink, so I'm gonna change it up. I'm taking Kat Von D Hellbent, which is kind of a wine color. Kind of go over the lip. It's a little bit more warm too. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.